Hi, this is Valerie with Gimme Lip and More. All right, so today I am doing a collab with Anya Stamper, otherwise known as Pink Sweets. Oh my goodness, she is one of my favorite people on earth. I am absolutely so blessed and so grateful to be able to call her my friend, and anyone who is able to call her friend is blessed. I mean, she is an amazing, amazing young lady. She does colorful looks and she has the most wonderful stories. I love listening to her tell us all about her adventures, and I just enjoy her joy because she's so happy and so kind and so caring and so inclusive, and maybe I can say so many wonderful things to so many people, and I can't say that about everybody. So again, I feel so very blessed. We are doing a Mother's Day collab, and there aren't any rules. It's just whatever a Mother's Day look means to you. So I wanted to honor my mother. My mother has passed away, and I miss her so very much. I wish she was here. She would never believe that I had a YouTube channel. She just wouldn't believe it. And I'm wearing purple in her honor because my mother's favorite, absolutely favorite color was purple. So I want to use the color purple, and I want to use 5 shades, okay, that's a little misleading. I want to use 5 shades, one of them being my mother's favorite color, purple. And then I also wanted to use my favorite color, it's orange. And you know what's funny? Like when I was in kindergarten and dyeing Easter eggs, I don't know if I've told this story before. I dyed one orange and one purple because those were my favorite colors. And they told me those colors didn't match. Well, so they were Halloween Easter eggs. Halloween is like my favorite holiday. Always has been. So there. I haven't gotten over the color orange since I was 5. I'm 49 now. So, yeah, it's been a while. Anyway, then I have 3 daughters, and I also wanted to honor my daughters. And my youngest daughter, her favorite color is green, and my middle daughter, her favorite color is blue, and my oldest daughter, her favorite color is mauve. So I was like, you know, I am going to take those 5 shades and come up with a look. So the palettes I will be using today, there's the Ace Beauté Flare palette, because I have yet to use this pumpkin shade right here, and that is a gorgeous orange, and I love their formula. So I was like, oh my gosh, I want to use that. And then I wanted to use the Hasina 2 palette, and it has beautiful blues and greens. Look at this. It also has purples, but I really want to use the blue and green out of this. I haven't decided exactly which blue and green I want, but the blue and green out of the Hasina 2 palette. And here's a surprise. I have a Pat McGrath mini palette. I don't even know the name of this one, but it's this one. Oh my goodness. It is La Vie en Rose. I could be slaughtering that. I don't speak French. But Pat McGrath is known as Mother. And I was like, ooh, how appropriate. And then this palette right here has the most beautiful shiny shade of purple called Purple Rain right here. And then it has this mauve color right here. And out of my 3 daughters, my oldest is the most like my mother. So I thought, oh my gosh, how appropriate that these, you know, colors and palettes and, you know, I don't know how long I spent going through my palettes looking for the perfect colors and shades, because for the purple, I wanted something bold and shimmery and shiny, because that's how my mom was. Yeah. And my mom, she was married more than once, but her second wedding, she loved purple so much, she wore a purple wedding gown. Goodness, I wish I had. I have a photo. I have it somewhere, but I don't know where. I wish I could show you my mom's purple wedding gown. My mom was so awesome. And so I haven't primed my eyes yet. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And it's just really chatty. I just want to talk to you about, oh goodness, I'm just like all over the place. Just talk to you about how fortunate I was to have my mom. She was too funny. She was the best. Did we have a perfect relationship? Oh, goodness gracious, no. We would sometimes argue about the craziest and silliest and most ridiculous things. I mean, I swear, you know, I'd say, hey, the sky is blue. And she'd go, yeah, what shade? Oh, goodness. And my mother loved to eat ice. She ate ice like all of the time, and it would drive me crazy. And she'd call me, and she'd be on the phone with me eating ice in my ears, and I would be dying. I'd be like, Mom, call me back when you get done with your ice. Click. She'd just hang up the phone. You know, I'd give anything right now to have her chewing ice in my ear. I mean, that would be, I never thought I would miss that sound. It's a very distinct sound. And, you know, no one has chewed ice in my ear before my mother or since my mother. And I know that's a really bizarre thing to miss, but I do. Tell me, if you are so inclined, what kind of crazy habits your mom has that sort of kind of makes you bonkers, but, you know, at the same time, if you think about it, even though they make you bonkers, it's part of your mother's being. I mean, it's endearing and disturbing all at the same time. Oh goodness, my eye is watering. That's always fun. So, ooh, it's still like doing. Okay, come on, eyeballs. We've got work to do. All right, so again, I wanted to take the blue and the green, and this eye is going to drive me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Now, the one thing my mom taught me, and I'm so blessed, is my mom taught me to love everyone. She didn't care what color you were, what gender, what religious background, socio-economical, you know, if you were poor, if you had money, if you believed in God, if you didn't believe in God, you know. And she also taught me to not just love, but appreciate the differences and that everybody brings something to the table. And I've been very fortunate that my mom had that belief system. You know, she didn't care who you loved. She just supported your decision. If you were gay, straight, bi, I don't know if the newer terms, if she would obviously not be aware of those, but my mom she just had a heart for people, and she was so friendly and so helpful, and she never met a stranger, and she was just kind, you know, and she taught me to bake. She even taught me how to make candy and how you do the test with the water, and you drop the candy into it to determine if it's a soft or hard, or I forgot what that test is called, but she did that. And oh, my mom loved to cook, and she made some of the most delicious foods. She would make an omelet, and it was simple. It was ham and cheese, but oh, it was the best. I have decided to go in and start with Aaron, and I'm going to put that in my crease. But she could take just anything and just make a wonderful, delicious meal, and just amazing. My mom was, you know, I just think she was just an amazing person, and I miss her so much. I wish, you know, she passed away when my children were young, so she never got to meet any of my grandbabies, and I really wish that she would have gotten to tell me in person about these babies, because they are so funny. Oh my goodness, they just crack me up with all of their little personalities and preferences. And again, my mom always appreciated those differences in each of us. She never made it seem like I should be like someone else. And my mom, I was introduced to makeup by my mom, and again, this was long ago, and she came from the era where you had really thin painted on eyebrows. So there were times when she would totally shave her eyebrows completely off and paint them on, which to me is sort of crazy. I think that's sort of crazy, but that was what was in. And now I'm going to take a blue shade out of this, and I'm going to put this in this outer V area. Oh my goodness, I really love my Hasina 2 palette, and I know there's more blues and greens on the market, and I don't wear a lot of blue and green, so I see them, and the palettes they're beautiful. I mean, they're just gorgeous. But the problem for me is I have a hard time justifying spending that kind of money on colors that I don't wear as often. And if I wasn't so happy with this current palette, maybe I would be more inspired to you know, do something differently. But I am absolutely so happy with this Hasina 2 palette that the thought of getting another blue-green palette just doesn't, I just don't think I needed. Now, I know obviously makeup isn't about need, but of course I want to own every orange shade ever made and known to man. Yeah, let's talk about the truth. That's the reality of it. And again, I wish my mom was here to see all these colors, because my mom did very neutral looks, but that was the in thing at that time. I mean, she did venture out and use some purple, which for then I think was a lot, because a lot of the colors story was just a more neutral look. I mean, that was just sort of kind of the in thing. They didn't have, or I don't remember there being near the color combinations that we have today. I mean, we have so many options for colors. Beautiful colors made by, oh, what color under the rainbow can you not own? I mean, they make it, it's somebody's favorite color and you can get it. But, you know, that wasn't the case when my mother was in her heyday and wearing her makeup and getting dressed and being her beautiful, gorgeous self. It just wasn't something that was available. Oh, I love the blue and green so far. And now I want to take very lightly that mauve shade. I've never used Pat McGrath. Oh my gosh. And I just dipped in a little bit and I'm going right above. Ooh, that shade is much more intense than I anticipated. And I'm blending it above the green, and it was supposed to just sort of kind of peek through, but oh, it has a mind of its own. Wow. But I miss my mom. Again, we didn't have the perfect relationship, and some of the things she did to me, for me as a child, I did not appreciate, because I was a child. My mom she was a big believer in when you made food that it started with your eyes. So it was very important to her that your plate was really attractive. So she would do like a ham and cheese omelet and grits and toast and slice of tomato, and it would look so pretty. And here I am, a kid, going, ew, what's this tomato doing on my plate? And my mom was like, here, honey, let me take that off for you. I was so terrible. You know, looking back sometimes, I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck was I thinking? You know, obviously I was a kid. I wasn't thinking about these things. But my mom was just like, okay. But she didn't give up. Like, she wanted me to be exposed to that. So, even though I didn't always appreciate it, she didn't give up. She would still, you know, every so often put the tomato on the plate. I think hoping that, oh, well, maybe she's a little older now. Maybe she'll appreciate this a little bit better. And, yeah. So it was just pretty funny because she just, you know, she never gave up. And she gave me so much self-confidence. She was always like, Valerie, you can do anything that you want to do. You can be anything you want to be. And, you know, that's really nice. She told me, she says, you will change the world. And when she told me these things, and I was young and I was growing up, I was like, yeah, whatever, Mom. But, you know, looking back, my mom really did her best to make sure that I felt loved and wanted and smart and beautiful. And yeah, it's amazing. And I don't know, because I'm just rambling and I'm putting on makeup while I ramble. I don't know if I mentioned how much she enjoyed sewing, but my mother was quite the seamstress. I mean, she made gowns for Mardi Gras balls. I mean, she was so incredibly talented, and there's nothing that my mom could make. Now, we did not grow up with a lot of stuff. We were, financially, we were poor. But my mom didn't ever make me feel like I was poor. And she, I wanted this really, really fancy prom dress one year. And it was not in our budget. That was just wasn't in our budget. That's all there is to it. And my mom was like, don't worry, I'll make it for you. And you know, I knew my mom could sew. But oh my gosh, she totally outdid herself with this project. I mean, she just really, I wanted a black prom dress. And I wanted sleeves like this, and the bodice like this, and the skirt like this. And you know, my mom was like, okay, all right. So we went to several stores and, you know, window shopped. That's how I got all these fantastical ideas about this prom dress. And whenever I could tell her exactly what I wanted, she was like, all right, well, that's what you'll have. And then she proceeded to make it. We went and bought like 6 different patterns. And again, my mom could make anything. And she took these patterns and she combined them. And when we were done, well, when my mom was done, it was gorgeous. I had a dress that basically I got to design and my mother made for me. And it was just, everyone at prom was like, oh my gosh, you know. And it's so funny because my mom sewed so well. I don't know if y'all remember when it was very popular to have those really long blouses. And my mom made one. Well, she made us several, but she made them out of satin. And me and my sister at the time were the same size. And she made them these long blouses, button up with the collars and the cuff sleeves, out of every color satin. And we were in high school, and we'd go to school and they'd say, so where'd you get that? And I'd be like, my mom made it. Because that was true. My mom made it. And they would say, liar. And I'd be like, okay. So then they'd be, you know, the girls can be really mean. And so they'd be checking looking for the tag. And then they would go, oh, you cut the tags out. My mom never sewed any tags in our clothing. We were old enough to know the front from the back. So there was no need for tags to be sewn in our clothing. But, you know, again, girls can be so mean. I have the mauve and the blue and the green and the orange, because I'm just talking. I'm gonna go in with this purple, and I've been watching more YouTube videos, because how do you not watch like all these wonderful makeup people? So I'm gonna try this. I want that purple shade, that Purple Rain by Pat McGrath shade, to be so vibrant in the front half of my eye. I am going to take some glitter glue, because that's what I've seen done, and I just want this to show up like nobody's business. So I'm hoping that that's what happens for me, because I've been watching people do it and the outcome has been so amazing that I'm like, oh, why haven't I tried that? So, and then I'm going to take, as soon as I locate one, a flat brush, dip it into that purple, and oh, Mom's favorite color. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, wow. So this is why everybody says the wonderful things that they say, because the mauve shade was also Pat McGrath, but this is just intense and just gorgeous. But now I know what they're talking about. Oh my goodness. This is and I'm just packing it on top of the glitter glue that I laid down. And this purple, my mother would have loved it. She would have absolutely loved this purple. Wow. That is very intense, and I knew I wanted something intense, but that is really intense. And yes, I am so happy with that. Oh my gosh. Again, I've never tried that method. And that, if you really want your shimmery shadows to show, that is just amazing. Besides the fact that Pat McGrath is known for being absolutely amazing. I am going to take a little bit more of that orange, because it's orange, and smoke that orange out a little bit. Wow. I'm trying to stay in the camera. Sometimes I forget. Oh. I'm also going to use the orange. There's another color that I wasn't planning on using. It's called Firefly. But it is orangey. And it's shiny. And it's the perfect, for me, inner corner highlight, especially with this. So with the green and the purple, and I know it's orange instead of yellow, but it sort of kind of has a Mardi Gras vibe, which my mother absolutely loved too. She would like sew gowns for the Mardi Gras balls. She made wedding gowns. I mean, she could sew anything. And she was just an amazing, talented woman. And again, I miss her so much. I am going to go back in with some of that blue because I feel I need to put a little, intensify it a little bit. Especially next to that purple that is so intense. At first, I thought, when I first put the blue on, I thought it was pretty intense. But after that purple, I was like, ooh, no, now I need more blue because I want it to flow a little bit better. And I'm just trying to blend them out a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but oh my goodness. And I'm going to take a fluffy brush and just sort of kind of blend these shades together. So, share your favorite stories of your mom if you're so inclined, because I would love to hear all about your moms. And I wanted to also say, Mother's Day is about love more than anything at all. So I wanted to say, if you have biological children, obviously you're a mom. If you don't have, if you're a stepmom, you're a mom. If you're a godmother, you're a mom. If you have the most fantastic pets on the face of the planet, you're a mom. If you're a dad doing double duty, you're a mom. There are so many wonderful moms out there. Non-traditional mothers. And, you know, that's a wonderful thing, because mothers come in all shapes, sizes, backgrounds, and you don't have to give birth to be a mom, you know. And I am going to go off camera and finish this, but this is my look so far, and I think my mom would approve. And I've had so much fun with this eye look, but I think I need some mascara and some eyebrows, and I'll be right back. All right, well, this is the finished look, and I think my mom would approve. So in the waterline, I use this 24/7 Urban Decay Glide On pencil in Voodoo. That's in my waterline. Then I had some, also the lower lashes, I use Wet n Wild purple mascara. I bought this before the ColourPop mascaras were available, and now I want to try, like I want to buy all of the ColourPop mascaras. This no buy sometimes is killing me. And then I used this purpley highlighter by Cleona Cosmetics from Canada in the shade Breaker. And oh, I love the Cleona Cosmetics highlighters. Those, hands down, my favorite. And it's LS's fault. That's who told me about them. And then I used Lime Crime, and it's a metallic purple lip. And the print is so small on the bottom. Of course, I can't read the name. It is Axel is the name of the shade. And, oh, I love it. So, happy Mother's Day. And if you haven't noticed, Mother's Day ends the week that is celebrating Nurses Week and Teachers Week. And so it's like, wow, Nurses Appreciation, Teacher Appreciation, Mother's Day. Yeah, I think those are the three underrated things in the entire world, you know, and moms were our very first teachers, and I would not be the absolutely fantastic, wonderful nurse that I am today without the most amazing, patient, kind, you know, knowledgeable teachers and mentors that I have ran across in school and my career. So I was like, look at this, it all comes together. So I hope everybody has a great Mother's Day. And let me tell you one last story about my mom. It's so funny. So I would bounce back between staying with my grandmother and my mom. And so my grandmother had a stove, but it was electric. And then my mom had a stove and it was gas. And so it had the pilot light. And my mom would buy sugar and she would pour it into one of those really big plastic ice cream containers. So, you know, I didn't think about gas stove and pilot light. And I'm like, I'm going to make some Kool-Aid, you know, because we were poor and I needed some flavored water. And I didn't have the issues I have today, so I had sugar, all the sugar I could stand. So I take that big, huge container of sugar and I set it on the gas burner, the gas stove, one of the burners with the pilot light. And, you know, I'm not thinking. So I'm making the Kool-Aid. Well, it melted and there's sugar pouring into the stove. My mom had went grocery shopping. She comes home and I'm telling my sister, distract her, because I'm spooning sugar out of the stove. I'm trying to clean this mess up before my mom realizes there's a mess, and she opens the door and she's like, oh, it smells so good. It smells like cotton candy. Oh, yeah. I was so worried. I was so afraid because I had wasted so much sugar, you know, and we were on a strict budget and we needed that sugar. I'd wasted sugar. I had made one of the biggest messes and I didn't know even how to quite clean that mess up. You know, I mean, I'm trying to remove it with a spoon at this point, but I don't know what I'm going to do when I get down to, you know, when I get most of it out. And my mom, you know, obviously we couldn't distract her long enough for me to clean this up. She comes into the kitchen and I am just like, oh dear, you know, I'm ready to be, you know, because just ready for the worst. I'm ready for her to yell and be upset and be disappointed in me more than anything. And she just bust out laughing. She was just dying because she thought that was like the funniest thing. It was like, what happened? And I was like, she's like, what were you doing? And I was like, making Kool-Aid. And just thinking about that today just reminds me of her, just her, you know, and everything that she was, you know, and she took over cleaning it up and she was like, I bet you'll never put plastic on one of those burners again. And I'm like, no, Mom, never, never. And I never have. Oh my goodness. But those memories, it's amazing to look back on and be able to have those memories that I have of my mom. And I hope each one of you have those kind of memories. And if you're a nurse, I definitely appreciate my fellow nurses. And if you're a teacher, again, I appreciate you so much because you are part of why I'm a wonderful nurse and you have touched the lives of the generations before me and the generations after me, and you have been so wonderful with my children. You know, I have had some unique situations with my own children and teachers, and you know, I cannot say enough good things. I wish they took better care of our teachers. I don't understand why we don't invest more in our teachers, because they really are the backbone of this of our society. Without them willing to sacrifice all the sacrifices that they make to make sure that we get a good education, you know, who's going to do that? It's not an easy job, and I think it gets harder every day, and I cannot say enough good things about teachers. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you joined me today. And you know, all my favorites returned on purpose. I cannot wait to see the look that my friend Anya did. I mean, she loves purples and greens also, so I don't know what look she's doing, but I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to hear her stories about, you know, her mom and any other stories she wants to tell us, because she's a great storyteller, and that's so nice. And again, I hope to see each and every one of you soon.